Hi everyone, so today we're building our first transaction in our quest to become a D-Rep. I'm with Ben from Wheat Steak Pool and let's start the video, right? Let's go. So from the transaction tab.
Exercise 8.
Yes. So we're going to skip a lot of things since we need, that's a pretty basic transaction we have to do, right? We just want to make a transaction and the inputs is going to be our UTXO and the output is going to be our own address. So it's a transaction to ourselves only to register a stake certificate on chain. So that's basically what we're going to do. So on the study sheet, pretty much I'm saying everything about what we skip, which is almost all of the options, pretty much, because there's a lot of things about minting NFTs, smart contracts, you know. So we're kind of skipping all that, and we're going to use, if you get down to the very bottom, we're going to use 6 options of those options. So Cardinal CLI, transaction, build, transaction in, which is going to be our UTXO. What was it? I don't have it. We're gonna have to go get back. Shouldn't have cleared my terminal. That's a big mistake. Address build, query, UTXO.
Oh yeah.
There you are. Okay.
There we go.
So Cardinal CLI transaction build. Next line. What do we have? Dash transaction in, and we put our UTXO. Copy paste. We have to use actually, how do you call that in English?
It's like a
dash? No, no, it's not a dash.
It's
That's
like a pound sign.
Pound sign.
Yeah, the hash.
In French, it's a dièse.
Oh really?
Okay, so yeah, that symbol. And after that, we have to write down the transaction index, which is 0, like that. Okay, so next line, the transaction out, which is going to be our address, right? Because we're sending it back to ourselves. So we want the result of cat, my payment address, that's how we called it, payment address, plus...
Or is it payment with stake?
Yeah. No, yeah, on the example, it's payment. I called it payment with stake.
Oh, okay.
But here we used payment dot
oh, my
address.
Bad. Right. Okay.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, I didn't use the same name, but it's pretty much the same thing. All right, 0. Next line, we have to add invalid dash hereafter. So this pretty much means that after the slot number that I'm going to put here, the transaction itself is going to be invalid. So it has to be processed into a block before the slot number I'm going to put there, which is not going to be right now, because the reason why I'm putting 0 everywhere is because I want to make a transaction draft to be able to calculate my fees. And when it's done, I'm going to put the values that we need. So the fees are going to be 0 in the perfect world. And we have to add our certificate file, which is called stake.cert, right? Yeah. That's the one. Okay. We need
That's it, right? Oh no.
We need a file name, transaction.raw. Whoops. All right. I wrote down Cardinal CLI transaction build, but it's build raw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used the one because when you use build, you already have running node and it calculates the fee for you. So you don't have to mention the fee option because it doesn't exist in that particular
format. Yeah.
Right. So I'll mention raw and it's gonna work. There you go. So we have it. Now, I want to have the fee. So we will do Cardinal CLI transaction calculate minimum fee right here.
Exercise 9 in the study guide.
That's right. Cardinal CLI
In
transaction.
an air-gapped environment, of course, if you're doing this on
Yes,
mainnet.
exactly. But we're on one Sancho, so let's be unsafe.
Yeah, come on, this is SanchoNet.
Oh man. Okay. This is bad. Okay, where was I? Calculate the fees. Everything we're doing right now, we're doing it as if we were on a cold environment, but since we're not and we're totally unsafe, we could just go and not care and go with the transaction build. But anyway, that's just fun like that. Okay, so what do we need? Let's write it down. Cardano CLI transaction calculate minimum fee. Get down to another line. We need absolutely required the transaction body file, which is
TX raw.
transaction raw. Next line. I'll mention the testnet, right?
Yeah.
Why is it not required?
Wait, it's not required?
No, you see square brackets.
Oh, right.
The reason is because when you calculate the minimum fees, you calculate it from what's in your protocol parameter file that you queried from the testnet. So if you don't mention it, it kind of already knows what it has to know to calculate your fees. We'll still
That kind of blew my mind just now.
yeah
Okay,
no
makes sense.
you remember we did the query of the protocol parameter earlier
Right.
in the
Yeah.
exercise, and by doing so we queried it from the central testnet, so we have the protocol parameters of the central testnet. You know what, actually I'm just going to take the time to get protocol.json, and as you
Oh
can
yeah,
see here,
protocol.json. Yeah.
right, okay, so here you have the transaction fee fixed, so this is the minimum, and transaction fee per byte. So depending on the size of the file that you're going to use for your transaction, the fees are going to be calculated according to it. So all your command needs to calculate your fee is these.
Is in the protocol JSON file.
Right.
But that takes more work, right? I mean, we're being lazy here. Not
Yes.
really.
Well, actually, the best way to do that, especially if you want to make more than one transaction, would be to open up a text editor like LibreOffice, and you type it down there, and you have your file with everything you need from the Cardano CLI. So let's say I want to build Cardano CLI transaction calculate minimum fee dash dash testnet dash magic or change line dash dash protocol params file protocol that JSON transaction in count. So how many transaction in do we have? We have one.
Oh yeah.
We only have one UTXO to spend, so we'll mention one. Next, transaction out count. How many we have out? We're sending it back to our own address, so it's one. What else? Witness count. Witness count. So this is the numbers of keys or witness we're going to use to sign our transaction. So since we register a stake address on chain, we're going to need our payment signing keys to sign the transaction because we want to spend the UTXOs from our address, and we're going to also need the stake signing key to register the said stake certificate. So we need two keys, and we don't have to mention the Byron witness count because we don't use Byron, so that should be it. Oh wait, I didn't put the transaction body file,
Yeah,
which is transaction.raw. So I'll copy this and paste it in my terminal, and this is the fees. It's going to cost us a great amount of 0.17 ADA. So we have the fees. So next I want to play with my transaction draft, which I didn't copy. So I'll just put it there. This is good. I got my fees right here, so I'll put them here. These are my fees. All right, so now we need to make some calculations, right? So my UTXO was 10,000 ADA. Fake 10,000 fake ADA, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
ADA.
We'll start an expression. Use 10,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 10,000 million lovelets minus 2 ADA of fees that we saw for registering the stake address. So it's 2, but it has to be in loveless. So we add 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus the fees. And it gives us our transaction out. So we grab this, we copy it, and we paste it here. There you go. So now the only thing left for us to know is, I'll call it the expiration of our transaction. So for that, we could, you know, get the tip, right? So we are at the slot 9,593,000 and something. So we use that. Or you could simply sudo journal ctl --unit -sancho -node -f follow. Whoops, it's an equal sign. Equal. And you can use the slot number that you see, which is the same. So sometimes I have two screen. I'm kind of lazy. I'm looking at the, you know, one screen and I just, you know, take notes. So we use this one. Copy. We'll paste it here and we will add, let's say 2,000, which is the equivalent of a couple of minutes, right? All right. So we have our transaction here. Finally build. There you go. So now we have to sign it. So where is it? Transaction. It has to be signed. It's right here. Cardano CLI. Transaction sign. Next line. We need the transaction body file, which is transaction.raw. What else? We need our signing key, of course. Signing key file. What is it? We need the payment.skey, our private payment key for the transaction itself, and our signing key file, our stake signing key. The network we need to mention testnet magic 4, and the name of the file that is going to include our transaction plus the witness signatures of our private keys. Out file, what do we call it? Transaction.sign. Okay. That's it.
Got it.
Copy. Let's paste it here. That's it. We have it. So now the last step is to submit it on chain. So here we can see everything I'm mentioning right now is already in their exercise.
So this, up till this step, this would have all been air gapped, but now we're going to switch to a hot node.
You got it. You have to grab your transaction signed, but for more security, right? Since when you generate it, it's still writable. I don't want that. So you will chmod 400 to make it only readable for more security. So when you transfer it to your hot node, you will already have your commands ready. Everything is ready to be, you know, you stick it in there, you submit it, and you delete it.
Yeah, wow.
You can actually script that too. It's up to the people, right? So
yeah,
let's say we transferred it back to the hot node with our USB key, or, you know, right? Now we want to submit it. Well, actually, we're going to use that again, so I'll make sure to put it here. Cardano CLI transaction submit. Next line. This is not required. Not gonna use it. --testnet magic for Sancho. What else? The transaction file itself. Transaction file, which is transaction.sign. Is that it? That's it.
That's it. And
this is
so you essentially just showed people what their wallet is doing for them.
Yep.
Somewhat, right? I mean, it's kind of like if you just think of taking a part of your favorite Cardano wallet. I mean, they're all different. They're all a little different, but this is essentially what they're doing for you.
It's just that if you want to be first, if you want to be before everyone, if you want to know how these things works, and to be a good D-rep, you might want to know these things. So, right, we did submit the transaction, so it's done. So now we can get rid of our transaction. That's it. So now our stake address is registered on chain, but our wallet is not yet delegated to any pool, but it's registered. So we could do that. And right after this, we will start building our UREP key. So for that, we need to, I'll go back to this. Now we need to create our delegation certificate. Okay. So this is in the stake address branch. So let's go see it. Stake address branch. I'm in the transaction. So I'll go back up. So in the stake address tab, we have to make right down there at the very bottom a delegation certificate. But which pool are we going to choose, right? So I want to do Cardano CLI. I want to query. What do I query? I want to query the
stake pools.
Stake pools, right? So let's query the stake pools. Stake pools. What else? Socket path, mainnet, testnet, out file. Okay, so we will query the stake pools -- testnet magic 4. No out file. Don't need that. All right.
Oh, there we go.
So these are the stake pools. I'm gonna try this one. It looks great.
But what is it about that particular pool that appeals to you?
I have no idea. We can check it out.
You just picked it at random.
I just, yeah, that's random. That's totally random. That's not arbitrary.
I'm curious which one. Curious to see which one it is.
I'm curious too, so I'm going to go check. So Cardano CLI query pool params, and we're going to mention the -- testnet magic 4 and the stake pool ID. Of course, I need to mention that -- stake pool ID, which is this.
So suspenseful.
Oh, that's a pool from MyOG.
Oh, you really did pick a random one, huh?
I really did. I thought I knew.
Oh, okay.
My pool's over there.
I thought
somewhere.
for sure it was gonna be Able.
I was sure too. Anyways, I'm not gonna look for it. You want to delegate? That'd be funny, actually. I would delegate to an IOG pool, right? So what do we have here? We have this pool cost. Damn, that's really expensive, man. Oh my god, 500 data. 1% margin. The pledge is, that's good, right? So I want to delegate to this pool. Okay, so now we will build our Cardano CLI stake address delegation certificate. All right, we need to mention our stake verification keys, of course. Stake verification key file, which is stake.vkey. Next line, we need to mention the stake pool ID, which is going to be this one, out file, and we will call it, let's call it Delegation.cert, right? That's it. We have our certificate right there. So now the same way we did with the stake certificate, we will build our transaction, but it's going to be faster this time since we put the fee back to 0, invalid thereafter back to 0, our UTXO, which is totally not the same now. I have to find it, so let's go see it. Cardano CLI query UTXO address get payment address thisnet magic for null file. There it is. This is our new UTXO, and it has the same index with which is 0. So in here we will paste our UTXO and keep the same index. So here the certificate file is going to be Delegation Cert. That's it. We have our draft. We're on our cold environment, of course.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, what did I call it? Oh, delegation. All right, I made a. Okay, that's my bad. Delegation.
That works. Delegation cert.
Let's make a delegation cert. Why not?
Okay.
All right, that's done. We have our draft. Now we want to calculate the fees, which are going to be the same way, very same way, right? One
Just
key.
Plug in delegation cert.
Same, very same. Everything is the same. Same name of the file, same everything. One key, one transaction in, one out, 2 keys to sign with. So let's go. We'll do that. Oh, as you can see, the fees are not the same. This is not the same cert. It's different. So we don't have the same fees. So we'll put that there. There are my fees. Now I want to calculate from my UTXO. Here, I grab the amount in my wallet and I make an expression. I use the amount of the wallet minus the fees, which are 180,197. And there's no fee for delegation except the normal fees. So, which I'm going to put here. And we need the tip. But since I'm lazy, I'm going to do sudo kernel ctl -- unit equal sancho node -f and c, which one it is. There you are. Copy. Get back there. Paste. This is the actual tip. So we're going to add
2000.
Oh, that was 4, huh? Right?
Oh.
I'm gonna put 6.
Yeah.
Copy. Paste it. There. Oh, right. Delegation.
Delegation.
All right.
Perfect.
We have it. Now we're ready to sign with the same keys. That's gonna work just fine. We signed them. That's done, and we submit.
That's great, man. Yeah, this will be a really useful part of the video, because yeah, man, that's great. You have to be able to follow the study guide and then have this video as well. I mean, people are gonna really appreciate that, I think.
Yeah, the study guide is going to be really useful, especially if you want to make your stake pool as well on Central Testnet. The thing is, for D-reps, we're going to follow the Sancho.network tutorial because, you know, I'm super busy and I haven't had the time to make a study sheet for this particular part because it's constantly changing and
Right.
I'm really
That's just the nature of it, though. You know, I mean, it is changing all the time, so it's hard to really.
But eventually, when it gets more stable,
Yeah.
I'll make one definitively. So that's it for now. That's it for today. All right, if you made it this far, good job. So in the next video, we're going to create our DREP keys, our DREP ID, and we're going to submit our DREP registration certificate on chain. And if we have maybe enough time, we will try to submit a governance action, our first governance action. So I'll see you in the next video.